Hi guys! Bambulab did it again and released a new printer. This one is called A1 Mini, and in this video we will unbox and check it out. You want to know more? Then stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Rui and this is the Rui Raptor YouTube channel. If you want to help us out, you can by giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also help by joining our Patreon page or by clicking on any of the affiliate links posted below in the video description. So, last month on September 20th, Bambulab released one more printer, the A1 Mini. It's a completely different design of what we are used to, and it's available as standalone or with its own auto material system unit, making it capable of printing up to 4 colors. The print volume of the A1 Mini is smaller when compared with the previous models, with 180 by 180 by 180 millimeters. It's a bit small, but it's a normal size for printers with this type of structure. The main features that Bambulab highlights for this new printer are the multicolor capability with the AMS Lite unit, which allows printing with up to 4 colors. It's basically almost fully assembled. It takes just a few minutes to get it ready to print after taking it out of the box. It can run several calibrations automatically, such as bed level, Z-offset, vibration compensation calibration, flow rate, and auto belt tension adjustment. The active flow rate compensation is one of the most interesting features. The machine has a sensor that can measure the amount of flow and make the necessary compensation. The manufacturer also promises fast speeds and print quality on this model, especially because this machine can print very fast like a Core XY printer, but with the bed slinger structure. So that's something we will want to test. The user interface is very user-friendly. This is something that Bambulab has done also on their previous models. However, unlike the previous models, the A1 Mini is capable of printing with very low noise levels. The hot end quick swap feature means you don't need any tools to replace the hot end, and this can be done in just a couple of minutes or even less. It's also equipped with a camera and light and can be monitored remotely with an app on a smartphone. It's also capable of detecting filament tangles while printing, which is very handy. The AMS Lite can also load and unload automatically, and it's equipped with the radio frequency ID reader to detect filament types from Bambulab spools. The structure is all metal and has linear rails for the X and Z axis and the linear guide for the Y axis. It can print most of the materials on the market that don't require an enclosure, such as PLA, PETG, and TPU. But because it's an open printer, it's not recommended to print filaments such as ABS, ASA, PC, PA, and PET. The printer is also equipped with a filament runout sensor, filament odometry sensor, and power loss recovery. And finally, Bambulab included a fun feature. If we create or load MIDI files on this website and then export to a G-code file, the A1 Mini will be able to play the sounds through its motors. Same as all other printers from Bambulab, this one comes nicely packed inside a plastic bag. At the top, we have some accessories such as the print surface and the manual, a box with samples, the rollers for the AMS Lite, a small cardboard box, a nozzle wiper, and a mystery box. Inside the foam, we have the AMS base, the AMS unit, the printer itself, and the external spool holder. Inside the small cardboard box, we have several items such as a needle to unclog the nozzle, a couple of Allen tools, a spare rubber nozzle wiper, parts for the printer that will be used during the assembly, a blade for the printable spatula, a couple of filament cutter blades, and lubricant. Bambulab also included some goodies. One of them is this wireless mouse. Inside, we only have the electronic components because the mouse shell, bottom, and buttons will be printed. From what we have read, the mystery box will not always be included with the printer, as it's a limited offer for a certain number of initial units. However, this and other mystery boxes are available on their website. They also included this small box with filament samples. In here we have the samples for every color and filament types from Bambu. On each one we have the material type and code. Also included are a small sample of PLA filament and 5 PTFE tubes. And this is everything that came inside the package. This is the AMS unit. At the top we have the 4 feeders. The filament spools are placed at the sides. The spools are secured by rollers that we need to attach during the assembly. And these are the rollers. They have this spring system so they can be adjustable to different spool sizes from 40 to 68 millimeters of width and 53 to 58 millimeters of inner diameter. And this is the print surface. It's the same gold texturized flexible plate that comes with the P1P and P1S printers. The size, however, is a bit smaller. This one is 180 by 180 millimeters. And this is the printer. This one is not a Core XY model like the previous ones. The print surface on this one moves back and forth. Okay, now for the assembly. The printer comes almost fully assembled. We only need to install a few parts for it to be ready to print. The first thing we should do is cut the zip ties that secure the print head and remove the foam. There's also a Z-axis lock that we need to remove before printing. We need to remove 4 screws. The 2 holes at the back will be used later for the filament spool holder. Next is to tighten the screws under the bed. You can use the Allen tool that comes with the printer. There are 3 screws that need to be tightened. The 4th screw, which is located at the back right side of the bed, is fixed, so it doesn't need to be tightened. Next is the purge wiper, and we need this screw to secure it. The wiper slides in and the screw is tightened from the bottom side. Next is the spool holder. For that, we need these 2 screws and this small piece. And then we secure it at the back of the Z-axis like this. The orientation is important, so make sure you secure it with this orientation. Now we can take the spool holder and slide it on the piece like this. If you order the AMS unit, this is how you assemble it. First, take the base and place the AMS on the base. Next, take these screws and use them to secure the AMS unit to the base. You need 2 screws for each side. Next, cut the zip ties. And then install the rollers. Each roller has a color and this color must match the color on the AMS. There are a couple of green rollers and a couple of yellow rollers. The AMS Lite is not compatible with the X1 and P1 printer series, and the bigger AMS is not compatible with the A1 Mini. And this is how the AMS Lite looks like. There are several numbers at the top of the unit. The numbers from 1 to 4 indicate the slot number and the position. The filament is inserted from underneath and comes out from these fittings. The buttons release the gear so we can insert or remove the filaments. There are 5 PTFE tubes inside the bag and with different lengths. The shorter one is used when you don't have the AMS installed, and connects to the fitting next to the external filament holder and to the print head. The middle length tubes connect the fittings from slots 1 and 2 to the print head. And the longest tubes connect the fittings from slots 3 and 4 to the print head. On the print head, there is no specific order for the tubes. Just make sure they go from the print head to the AMS as straight as possible. Then we have this collar to secure all 4 tubes and the cable that goes to the print head together. You will have to make sure that all the tubes and cable can move correctly and don't get pulled when the X and Z axis move to the limits. This can be confirmed later with the print turned on. And that's it. The assembly is complete. We only need to connect the cable from the AMS to the printer and place the print surface on the bed. At the front right side is the touch display. Both X and Z axes run on linear rails, and the Y axis runs on a linear guide. At the back is the on and off switch. At the right side, there are a couple of connectors and the memory card slot. The bed is magnetic and has a rubber nozzle cleaning wiper at the back, and next to it is the area where the nozzle will sit to prevent leakages during filament changes. The bottom side of the bed is fully covered by a foam pad to help maintain the temperature stable. And this is the print head. As the previous models, this one has a lever at the side which is used to cut automatically the filament before unloading. Under it, we can see the nozzle and the black sock covering the hot end. At the sides are the ducts where the cooling air for the layers comes from. The layer cooling fan can be seen from the back. One of the features of this printer is that the hot end can be replaced without the need of tools. To do that, we first remove the front cover. Inside there's a sticker with the instructions. Next, we remove the sock from the hot end. There's a metal latch that needs to be removed, and when it's removed, the hot end comes out. This hot end is stainless steel and, of course, all metal. Attached to the heatsink is a small magnet that holds the hot end while the latch is unlocked. The nozzle that comes with the stock hot end is 0.4 mm. On the manufacturer's website it's possible to order the stock hot end or the hardened one. It's also possible to order with different nozzle sizes. The printer is also equipped with a camera and light. There's even a small cover to block the camera if we want to. When turning the printer on for the first time, the display will show us an initial setup that we need to go through. First is to select the language, then select the region, connect the Wi-Fi. This one we can skip and do it later on. Agree to the policies, choose to join the user experience, and finally run the auto calibrations. These calibrations will take a few minutes to complete and will calibrate the motor's noise compensation and the vibration compensation. Once the calibrations are complete, the printer is ready to start its first print. The menus are very user-friendly. The first button allows us to load and unload the filaments and also set up which filaments we will have on each slot. The second button is the control and allows us to change the nozzle and bed temperatures, print speed and fan speed, turn the light on and off, turn the extruder, and also move each axis and home them. In settings, we can check our Bambu account, check the firmware and update it, check the Wi-Fi connection, run the calibrations, check the device name, and in print options we can enable or disable the sounds, the step loss recovery, the AMS filament backup feature, and the filament tangle detection feature. In the settings menu we can also change the language, check the memory card, check the screen off time, turn the LAN only mode on or off, check the terms of use, and do a factory reset. And finally, the assistant that will show us messages that might come up, which at this time we have none. For the first print, we decided to go with the Benchy that was sliced by Bambulab, and it's available on the memory card that came with the printer. This Benchy prints very fast. For the Benchy, we also use PLA filament from Bambulab. Since this is a very fast print, we decided to measure the noise that the printer makes while running. Regarding the noise level, we noticed that this printer does not make too much noise while printing. The motors can run silent and most of the fans are quiet as well. The loudest component is the layer cooling fan when it's spinning at full blast. The noise level of this fan reduces a lot just by slowing it down from 100 to 80%. At 50%, the layer cooling fan makes almost no sound at all. We also printed this bin to collect the filaments purchase. This can be found on Maker World, and it's a must because otherwise we will end up with filament purchase scattered all around. Next, we printed the mouse for the build of the mystery box that came with our printer. We placed all the parts on the print pad and printed them all together. Next, we loaded some PETG filament and sliced our own Benchy with Bambulab's profile for PETG. And since we are close to Halloween, we printed a small ghost. To test TPU, we had to load the filament through the external spool holder instead of through the AMS Lite. This is a recommendation by the manufacturer, and we printed a small cube and another Benchy. It's impossible to have an AMS unit and not print a multicolor model, so we did that next. We selected this model, painted it on the Bambu Studio Slicer, and printed it with 4 different colors. So, let's check how the test prints turned out. This was the first Benchy printed super fast and which was sliced by Bambulab. It's almost perfect except for a couple of small things. One is the difference on the filament finish at the bottom, caused by different printing speeds, which made the filament look like that. And the other, a bit of ghosting near the anchor hole on its right side. The mouse printed for the mystery box turned out amazing. It was printed with PLA filament, and this is how it looks like fully assembled. We actually have been working with this mouse ever since, and we are enjoying using it. The green ghost also turned out very good. The walls are smooth, and we cannot find any issues, not even throughout the Z-axis. For the Benchy done with PETG filament, the results are very good. And considering that we used the generic profile from the Bambu Studio Slicer without any modifications. The only thing we can point out is the area where the filament got a bit shinier due to differences in printing speed. And regarding stringing, we cannot see any. The cube printed with TPU filament turned out okay. This was done using the generic TPU profile that is on Bambulab Studio Slicer, so a little bit of tweaking will need to be done. This was the Benchy done with TPU filament. It actually turned out great except for a small area at the front. This was also done using the generic TPU profile that is on Bambulab Studio Slicer, so a little bit of tweaking will need to be done. As for the multicolor ghost, it turned out nice as well. The color transitions are well made, and all the details from the design are there. The designer of this model says that it does not require supports, but we feel that this would come out better if supports were added under the eyes. All the test prints, except for the fast Benchy, were done using KXL and Filament PM filaments. And now for the pros and cons. On the positive side we have the printer is basically almost fully assembled and it's ready to print in under 5 minutes. It has a compact size and can fit anywhere. It has a very nice price, especially if we consider all the features. It's an excellent choice for beginners. It's compatible with the AMS Lite unit, and with it can print up to 4 different colors. The printer's components and materials have very good quality. It's equipped with linear rails on X and Z axis and a linear guide on the Y axis. It has a color touch display with very user-friendly menus. It's equipped with light and also with a camera which allows us to monitor the prints live and also capture time-lapse movies. The print surface is magnetic and with texture. It also has a very good adhesion. For PLA filament, we didn't use anything to help with the adhesion. The hot end is all metal and can be replaced very fast and easily. The printer is able to make several calibrations automatically. It's equipped with a sensor that senses the filament flow while printing, and also a vibration sensor for the vibration compensation feature. It's also equipped with a leveling sensor and filament runout sensor. The printer is also able to detect filament tangles, which is very handy. Can print with high speeds and maintain a good print quality. The motors and most of the fans are silent, which makes this printer less noisy when compared with the other bigger models from Bambulab. Only the layer cooling fan is a bit noisy, but only when it's turning between 80 and 100%. The slicer provided by Bambulab is an awesome slicer, and also includes profiles which will work as is in most cases. Bambulab also provides an app for the smartphone to monitor and control the printer remotely. As for the negative points, we actually feel that these are not the traditional negative aspects, but instead some remarks of what could be better in our opinion. One of which is the lack of a filament purge bin. This is something we have to get, otherwise we will end up with filament remains scattered all over. We printed this one and works great. The printer, when printing at very high speeds, seems that is not stable enough. The small area and base of the printer are not enough to prevent the wobbling of the entire structure when the X-axis is moving super fast. Although the entire structure shakes, the axis and overall components look very solid and do not wobble. We can only connect one AMS Lite unit and therefore can only print up to 4 colors. Although there are 2 connectors here at the side, at the moment we release this video, only one AMS unit is supported. It can be a little frustrating for the guys that are used to having more than one AMS unit connected to the bigger Bambulab models. But still, it's better than nothing in our opinion. As a conclusion, we think that this printer is a very good choice for the price and quality. It's more indicated for the guys that don't need to print with more demanding filaments and don't require a big printing area but want fast speed and good print quality. It's also an awesome machine for everyone that wants to start into the 3D printing hobby. So, what do you guys think? Feel free to leave your comments below. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye!